What's up, world?
I just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
They
Insert here.
Yo.
It's a terrible game. Bottom line, it's terrible in every way. Graphically, it's terrible. Gameplay is terrible. It's just terrible.
Angry Nick mad.
That game sucked, and it's gonna suck no matter how many revisions they make, and it just sucked even more because they put a Kinect with it.
Angry Nick mad. Or if there's violence, I'll just laugh and enjoy the fun.
Kaz Hazari. Hazari.
Kaz Harai.
They just kind of got tired of Angry Nick on the first one and said, I'm going to pass.
Oh, yeah, so I do.
It's me.
Precisely.
No.
I
No.
do all my work.
No.
And
You
unfortunately,
guys are
I
so
don't.
cute.
Oh, thank you. I try.
I mean, let's face it, Mario and to a lesser extent Zelda is what carries Nintendo at this point.
Always be radical.
I love you, little podcast. You're the bestest thing ever.
For the promise of a new Super Smash Bros. And the Zelda game, yes.
You will not find a better story presented in any other game genre, in my personal opinion. Like, JRPGs have that. They have that story.
That's what the entire game felt like. Oh my god, I want to bang my head into a wall.
It's a podcast. Can someone remind me? I thought it was a video game podcast.
You're listening to the Game Source Podcast.
Gerald, I can't do this by myself. Another unbeatable day in paradise? Is that how this works? Good morning, sunshine.
Oh yeah, hi. Sorry, we're supposed to do a podcast.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the entire world. It's half awake Gerald Glassford, better known as Yes Elvis Lives, on the world famous Game Source podcast, number 111. I was up till 5:30 this morning, shopping, doing the Black Friday deal, which should be, in my opinion, an Olympic sport, because you do need to use all extremities and all facets of the athletic endeavor in order to go and compete for those great buys that were out there. If you did get a chance, thank you very much for taking a look at our Black Friday page, which got huge volume in the past few weeks. www.yourgamessource.com/blackfriday.html, because there's some, so great deals, and which still up there as of right now. If you're watching live, or if you're watching on Black Friday, there's still some great deals. We may post as well some of the beloved Cyber Monday deals on that page as well, but we'll let you know on our GameSource Facebook page.
It's all about Cyber Monday for me. I'm not leaving the house. Like, I got home from Thanksgiving dinner last night. I watched a couple episodes of Criminal Minds, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting for my Cyber Monday.
But still, the deals aren't quite as good as on Black Friday. Got an Xbox One.
Oh, wow.
The deal at Walmart I couldn't resist.
Yeah, like I used to have to work Black Friday. Back when I worked at Best Buy, I had to work it. And that was back when stores opened at 5 in the morning, so I would have to be there at 4 in the morning to be ready.
Now they open up at 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's just, I'm sorry, I understand, people don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning, but it's just Thanksgiving, if you want to spend your Thanksgiving shopping, cool. But, don't make all these other people who have to work there, there's all these people, who have to work on Black Friday because people want to shop. And it's no, they're missing an opportunity to spend time with their family. So that's just kind of a jerk move, I think.
But I will tell you, conversely, it did create a lot better traffic.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier for consumers to go around and shop for what they needed to shop. I was out there at several major retailers, like I said, for several hours, and for over 12 hours. And I could tell you that there was a lot of people who were actually complimenting as far as how easy it was to get in through. Even larger locations, Walmart, obviously, Target, places like Old Navy, things of that nature that were really bad last year because they were at 8 and 9 o'clock, were a lot better and easily traversed through because it was a little bit better time frame. So it's a I guess for retailers it's a quandary that each retailer has to decide that they want to commit to. But
yeah, and then you're that guy who has to call your mom and say, "Oh, I'm actually not coming to things."
something like that. So once again, yes, Elvis lives, but I didn't even introduce you.
Everybody knows who I am. You don't need. I require no introduction.
This is the seventh Valkyrie, everyone. Her name is Sam. She has been playing a lot of games lately.
I had, November was not a good month for my bank account. I will tell you that.
It's usually not a good month for anyone's bank account, so we really appreciate everybody, like I said, checking out our Black Friday page. It was a big hit once again this year. As I'm posting this, if you haven't had a chance to check us out, we're GameSource on Facebook. www.yourgamesource.com is our homepage, and at GameSource on Twitter. So I just wanted to start off with, obviously the big news coming from Black Friday is those tremendous deals. And one of the best deals out there, like I said, I took advantage of it, was the Xbox One, which earlier this month had been reduced in price to $349 for a semi-permanent basis. They're talking about going back to $399 in early January, but we'll have to see on that one. I'm not so convinced that they will. But for the Black Friday period, and I believe going on until Saturday, many retailers are actually offering an additional $20 discount. So you can actually get an Xbox One, the Black Flag edition, or just the basic edition, maybe Sunset Overdrive edition if it's out there, for as little as $329. And just so many people taking advantage of it out there. This leads me into our first topic, and that's going to be the Xbox One, which is, I don't know, should we sing happy birthday? Because they just hit 1 year old.
You can sing. Happy birthday, for the frequency that it is sung, is one of the hardest songs to sing in the history of music. So
happy birthday to Xbox One. There you go.
It's lovely.
That's
make that song sound good.
That's the best thing you can get. So I'm going to start off with you, Sam, on this question. They've hit one.
One.
I
was one once.
They're just getting out of the diapers, and they've had so many changes, so many PR issues, as we've discussed. But I know for a lot of people, it's time for a refresher course. Tell me in your own words, first off, why you got an Xbox One as early as you did. You got it about halfway through, if I'm not
mistaken. I got it at
mistaken.
Christmas last year.
Oh, Christmas last year. Okay, so you got about a month and a half, month old. So tell me why you were so committed to it early on, when there were so many people that were actually frowning on the Xbox One because of all the mistakes that they made early on.
When it came to, let me know if my video cuts out because my USB ports are being kind of weird.
Don't worry.
When it came to the next generation, a lot of people had to make a decision because they had to either go Xbox One or PlayStation 4. And that was the decision a lot of people had to make. And I have always been an Xbox fangirl, and I probably always will be. I have this, I guess, loyalty to Microsoft at this point. And I knew of the two, I would be getting an Xbox One. So that was the decision I made first. And then, for me, I'm a little bit, this doesn't really count because how I obtained it was my parents got it for me for Christmas. That I wanted it, and that if it had been on my own, I probably would have waited until around Titanfall came out and saved a bit. So for me, I personally probably would have waited until around March when Titanfall came out. But for me, I've been very fortunate, and my parents got it for me for Christmas. So that's I could have waited a bit, but I got to have it in December, which is awesome. And I got the first thing I played Rise and I played Battlefield 4. And Rise was great. Like I really liked it. It was kind of short. But Battlefield was fantastic, of course. But yeah, that is the main reason I got it about 3 months earlier than I normally would have.
So, what are your initial thoughts on the actual unit itself? How you're using it? You're using it probably, I'm assuming, with the Kinect version. I have the one without. I do plan, by the way, to buy a Kinect unit at some point in time. I still want to commit to that when I can find a much better price on it. But tell me, as far as going through, I know they still at this point in time have some interface issues, some clunkiness, and tell me, in your own opinion, after dealing with it almost a year now, your initial thoughts on the Xbox One and navigating it, and the experience that you have from it.
Yeah, well, I never had a Kinect before, so even with my 360, I never had the Kinect. So having that now is kind of cool. Like, I'm glad I have this version of it. But a lot of times I have my Xbox 360 still hooked up to the same TV, and I'm still playing 360 games, or if it's on that input, I'll watch Netflix on that. I watch a lot of Netflix, like a lot of Netflix. But so having the voice commands is actually really, really cool. Like, I mean, sometimes the controller is right next to me, but like it's wireless, so it turns itself off. But like, just be like Xbox pause, and like, I remember like I was watching Netflix with my boyfriend, and like I was like going through some of the voice commands, and he's like, "This is the coolest thing," and he's just like trying to like just like navigating like through everything, and he's like, "Oh my god, like these voice commands are so cool." I really like Xbox Fitness. I don't do it as much as I should, but I do have a write-up on yourgamesource.com/7Valkyrie. That page, you go read it. But yeah, Xbox Fitness.
And that's something I wanted to ask. Is it just Kinect based, or can you use it without?
I can imagine you could, but on that level, it's just an exercise video.
Okay.
Like what they do is Xbox Fitness is it's fitness videos, but the person you are watching, their movements I'm assuming have been tracked, and then the Kinect watches your body as it moves to see how well it matches what the instructor is doing. So, it would be without the Kinect, it'd be doable, but it would just be watching a fitness video, essentially.
Fair enough. I just, as far as it's concerned, now that you've been an owner for almost a year, like I said previously, your thoughts on the launch lineup. You've played a couple games from that, and also how the games have come on to the Xbox One system. Has it been to your liking? Has there been enough of them, or is it something that leaves you wanting more? Because I know there's a lot of complaints on the PlayStation 4 side, which I've had since day one. That lack of first party games has been the major complaint, especially this fall with Drive Club and Little Big Planet 3 not setting the world on fire. With the Xbox One, my question is, has there been enough first-party titles to satiate your appetite, or have you been more reliant on third-party titles?
Honestly, even the two of those things combined isn't really, like, for me, like, the big ones, like, I played Rise because it was just there. Like, it was, when I first got it, it was something I could play, so I played that. Battlefield 4 was kind of the same thing. Like, if Battlefield 4 came out now, like if it was coming out in 2 days, that would probably be one I might wait on and just kind of see. But I got Battlefield 4 right away because it was out. My brother got whatever NBA basketball game was out. But even though he already had it on the 360, he was like, oh, I don't really have anything to play. The next big one for me was Titanfall. It's been sparse for me. I know a lot of games have been available, but honestly, probably even since I've got my Xbox One, I've probably really just been playing games on my 360. I mean, that's kind of changing now. Like, I'm okay. I'll say this. Like, I'm glad I had it when I did, I'm glad I had it for these titles, like so I've been able to play them kind of spread out, and it's a little cheaper that way when you're able. Well, it's the same amount of money, but it doesn't hurt as much when you're able to spread everything out. So yeah, I would say we're reaching that point where the curve was pretty low, but we're starting to like move upward again. And like, cause even now, like, I'm at a point where I got Dragon Age Inquisition the day it came out. I would have liked to have purchased Sunset Overdrive and the Master Chief Collection, but I kind of have to budget a little bit. So, but I could have gotten in the last like month or so. I could have. That's 2 more games I would have gotten, and it's at the point where I'm at where there's games that I really want to play, but I kind of have to pick and choose. Like this month was Dragon Age, Pokemon, and Smash. And it's like, okay, I need to, and I knew that was coming, and I knew November was going to be a tough month. So I think I'm not disappointed at the launch lineup, because launch lineups have never really been very dazzling. But I'm very optimistic at this point in time of how we're moving forward, because I think there's a lot of cool games that are going to come out.
And I know that recently Xbox has put out word that they've shipped, I believe, over 10 million in sales. So they're clearly stated that they are now have passed the Wii U in sales.
Okay.
And I know that most likely, I pretty much lay odds that this month they're going to be the winner as far as from an NPD standpoint in North America. I know UK is very upfront, more front on sales and sales statistics, and they'll tell you on more on a week by week basis. And they've stated that at this point in time, since the price change, Xbox One has paced PS4 in sales.
Mm-hmm.
So my question, leading off of that is, and like I said, I think it's going to take over North America for this month, and possibly even December because of price change. Can this continue for the Xbox One, or is it something that as soon as January rolls around, and if Microsoft does decide to roll back the price to $399, that we're going to go back to another 9-10 months of dominance again for the PlayStation 4, because they've shipped or sold themselves over about 14 million units, and so they now are out, pretty good, outpacing the Xbox One. Or do you see something that maybe is going to allow them to even up a bit over the next 12 months from coming up from here?
I think price drops are a very powerful tool, because people like price drops. A lot of people are of the mindset like, oh, I want this console, but I'm gonna wait for a price drop. Like that is a type of person in the entirety of retail is, oh, this looks cool, like the new iPhone, this looks cool, but I'm gonna wait. Like almost like you said with Kinect, oh, this is cool, I want it, but I'm gonna wait until there's a price drop. And I think a price drop is very symbolic in the sense that it's this flag you can wave where people, they see a price drop and their interest in the product can be reinvented. Like even if they were like, oh, this Xbox One's okay, but it's like, oh, now that there's a price drop, it's almost the psychological effect where like, oh, I kind of wanted this thing when it was this expensive, but now that I still want it and now it's cheaper, I should get it. And I think that is a bigger tool than people. It's not just, oh, I'm paying less money for it. I think there's a whole psychological effect that goes with the price drop.
So going forward, and I know you've already gotten a taste of what's coming out next year for the Xbox One. Are you encouraged by what's coming out? I know Halo 5 is piquing some interest. I'm a huge Halo fan. That's why the Master Chief Collection was a no-brainer for me for start off. Even though there will be a write-up very soon on it. We've been kind of holding back because of the issues and problems, but at this point, since they've not all been alleviated, in one of the many issues lately of games being broken when they're released, we're going to have to go ahead and put out our thoughts on it in the not-too-distant future. But that being said, with Halo 5 and a number of games coming very soon, what are your thoughts on the games that you're looking forward to coming up for the Xbox One?
Does it have to be an exclusive?
Well, obviously, it would make you more someone who's on the fence as far as with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One or Wii U watching or listening right now. It would be more inclined to why they would want to get an Xbox One.
I'm trying to think, like I'm pretty good at keeping up with stuff, but I'm having even a bit of trouble right now thinking of any other exclusives coming out.
And that's
all
what
the
I
ones
wanted.
I'm excited. Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to lead on because PlayStation 4, and we're going to the PlayStation Experience next week here at GameSource. Thanks to our good friends at the Gamer Protection Guild. George, I want to give a lot of props on that. He deserves a lot of credit for allowing us the opportunity to go. But Xbox has not shown a lot of cards like PlayStation 4 has with The Order, Bloodborne, Uncharted 4, and
Wait, The Order's
No
not coming
Man's
to
Sky.
Xbox?
The Order's a Sony first-party exclusive.
I was excited for that. I thought it was multi-platform.
No.
Guess I need a PS4 now. That's the one about Nikolai Tesla, right?
I think it is.
The Order 1866? Yeah, it's about Nikolai Tesla. Apparently he was a spy for a whole bunch of stuff. That's pretty cool.
Well, no, it's about from the steampunk. They make a steampunk about 4 different characters going after the supernatural, I believe, in the steampunk era. The only problem with that, and I was talking to someone at a video game store yesterday regarding that because he was asking my thoughts on it, and I said right out of the gate, I know there's been some issues in development, but right out of the gate, when you promise no multiplayer on it for something that has 4 different characters to choose from, and you want to make
no
it
even online co-op?
no even online co-op, and for something that's going to try to emulate a lot of what Gears of War is all about, it's that part of it's disappointing.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm looking at the right game. 'Cause I think.
But Bloodborne, that's coming from the folks, that's a Sony exclusive as well from the folks so familiar with the Dark Souls.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really upset this game's not coming to Xbox One. Like I was really excited for this. I guess there's a PS4.
No Man's Sky, which that is tied with Uncharted 4 with high on my list as far as a game that I just truly cannot wait to play. It is a timed exclusive to the PlayStation 4. How long, I'm not sure. But it is something I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on next week. But I'm just, that being said, Xbox One, Phil Spencer was recently quoted in an interview that there are several games, and so many in fact, that are coming to the Xbox One that can be released next year. He might have to put a few on the back burner for 2016.
I'm looking at a list right now. I don't care about Project Spark, Scalebound, Cuphead, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Well, 2016 is going to give you the new Gears of War.
Fable Legends, I'm so excited for Fable Legends.
There you go.
Forgot about that one. I'm stoked on that.
And Gears of War, the new Gears of War, I believe will most likely be a 2016 release, possibly 2017. Well, they started work on it this year, so you're hoping they can get through it fast. If they can't, then it would be a push back to 2017. But I have a feeling they want to rotate with Halo like they did in the previous 360 era, where there'd be a Halo one year and then a Gears of War then the next year. I know Sunset Overdrive. Many have talked about whether or not that game commercially was a success because you can't judge it by off of the consoles that was sold, that it was packaged in.
That's true, yeah.
As a standalone entity, I've not heard good things sales-wise, even though critically the game's been received very.
Yeah, I've heard really great things about it. It's on my list. I would put it on my Christmas list, but my parents don't like getting me video games for Christmas. Even like on the Xbox. But normally they're like, you don't need any more video games. You don't need any more video games. So yes, I do. You don't understand. Like they were asking me about the Xbox One. They're like, why do you need an Xbox One? You already have an Xbox. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm 24. I get it. I should. But when my parents were 24, they were running a restaurant and had kids already. Well, one of my brother born. I don't know if my brother was born yet. But it's like, yeah, what'd you do today? Oh, I went to work. Oh, then what? I play video games.
Hey,
So they don't understand like the different systems. It's like they're starting to. They're starting to get it.
I'm
But
45 and I'll never stop playing. So it's all about.
you make me optimistic about my future, Gerald.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I had this moment. It was like the weirdest thing. I went to pick up Dragon Age, and I was driving home, like driving out of the shopping center, and I saw this like old lady in a car. She's probably like older, like as old as my grandma, and she was driving kind of in the general direction of the GameStop, but there was like a ton of other stuff. I was like, I wonder if that lady's getting Dragon Age, and then I was like, that's silly. Why would that old lady be getting Dragon Age? There's no reason for that. But
Now I still get asked, well, is this for you or is this for someone? Yeah,
normally for me, it's like, oh, is this for your son? Is this for your boyfriend? Is this for your brother? It's like, no, it's for me. Let me
I know,
take this
same
and get out of here.
feel like just going, it's for me.
Yep.
You see the video game T-shirt that I'm wearing. Hey,
Yep.
get real. So
Yeah, like the people at my GameStop, they know me now. Like I used to get all my video games on Amazon, like, and 'cause they were sometimes just a little bit cheaper, and I could not have to leave the house. But now I every time I go get a game or anything, I go to my local GameStop. I know you don't like GameStop, Gerald, but it's we don't have a lot in San Luis Obispo. There's not a lot here.
But the problem is, do you want the instant gratification? Because Walmart, Best Buy, Target,
Don't have a Walmart.
they have not solidified themselves yet in the marketplace. They all trade games, but people are not as familiar with their trade-in policies. Amazon, I think they feel a little bit more comfortable with.
Yeah,
but
you
it
have to
doesn't-
have like the original packaging and everything for Amazon.
Oh, yeah. And I know I traded. There was about a year's time where I constantly traded through with Amazon, but again, you're waiting on the gift cards. So it takes about a 2 to 3 week process.
And the thing I like about our GameStop is like we don't have any like small like local video game stores here. It's a very small town. Like we don't have stuff like that. We just have the GameStop is pretty much it. And I just kind of like it because it's like it's a small store. Like it's mostly the same people working there all the time, and it's just like I could just go and kind of hang out for a little bit. Like I don't get that vibe at Best Buy. Like I used to work in the video game department at Best Buy, but like I don't really get that same vibe as I do.
Really, I never knew that.
That I worked at Best Buy. I think I've said it like 4 times on the podcast already.
I've talked to you in a Best Buy.
You have talked to me in a Best Buy in the video game department.
Yes. Anyways.
And guys would be like, "Oh, can you find somebody to help me?" It's like, dude, I can help you right now. Let me impress you. Let me wow you.
Smack them around. But my question to you is, if supposedly what Phil Spencer is true and they have a ton of games ready to release in 2015, does this ease your mind a bit as an Xbox One consumer on where they're going from here?
See, for me, as a working adult now, because I'm a working adult now, apparently. I don't really know when that transition happened. But for me, I really like when game releases are a little slow and stretched out, because then there's not as much pressure on me to pay for them. Like it used to be like I would work, but like I wouldn't have to really pay rent. Like when I like lived in school, like my parents kind of covered me for all my like necessities. So like I would still work, and so I would have a lot more disposable income. But now I'm paying rent, I'm paying bills, I'm paying student loans, I'm doing everything. And for me, I know a lot of people can relate with this situation where, oh, just because a new game came out, I can't always get it immediately. Like 3 games for me this month is absurd. I've been like planning my income around this month because I knew it was going to be crazy. So I'm excited that there's going to be a lot more games for me to play, assuming that statement is true, that there will be more games. But it just puts this weird pressure on me because it's like, I want to play all these games right now. Like Master Chief Collection, like I should have got that day one. I should be playing it right now. It's just like I had to make a decision. So I am really excited about new games. I truly am, because eventually I'm going to get to them. But I am not of the mindset that I need them right now. Like I don't need them. Like if a bunch of games kind of slowly came out over 2015, I would be good. But
I will touch on. I was thinking on before I let you go on that. I was saying on GameStop, and I apologize for interrupting. GameStop this Black Friday, I really think that they unfortunately were underperforming, underwhelming. And I said on the previous podcast, number 110, that I really thought of all the major retailers dealing with video games that they underperformed more than ever before, even though they had a huge layout as far as it's concerned. And that's the problem when you're dealing with a GameStop and they're the only game in town, quote unquote. Pardon the pun. It's just that you're dealing with an entity that doesn't have to make discounts all the time and be aggressive with its pricing like the other retailers. So, but your final thoughts on the Xbox One as it has turned one, and as far as it's concerned going forward, what you're looking forward to? Because I know for me now, as an Xbox One owner as well, I'm looking forward to how the system can evolve, how the interface can be better utilized, and mainly, of course, for us, what games will be instituted in the long run that is exclusive to the console. But please elaborate for yourself on what you think Xbox One will be like going forward in the future to become, the big man on campus on a permanent basis here in the North American market.
I think something that the Xbox One has that is advantageous to them is the Kinect. I know, like, does the PlayStation 4 have the equivalent of the Xbox Move, or the PlayStation 4 have the equivalent of the PlayStation Move? They would.
Well, they have the camera, the PlayStation camera, which
does it still have that?
Yeah, well, that's still available. In fact, it's got available on a discount right now with many retailers as this video is being taped for $39. It is not as versatile as the Kinect. It does take some voice commands. There was a recent software update to allow for that. Obviously, it's more popular now because of the streaming aspect. A lot of people really, really wanted to buy it upon its release last year, and still today it's been a very attractive option for people simply because people are getting way more into the streaming aspect of things with the Twitch and Ustream integration, and then obviously as well, sending that to YouTube and things of that nature. So the PlayStation camera has really become a vital piece of the puzzle for PlayStation 4 owners who want to stream. As far as something that's going to be interactive, no, it is not quite as interactive as the Kinect. It does have capabilities of working with the Move if there's software for it. I've seen it in practice. It was actually shown in practice upon its initial entry, as far as when the PlayStation 4 was first introduced to consumers. But no one has really taken that to practice per se to any great extent. There's a couple things in development, but really nothing that's going to take true advantage of it. And like I said, it does have some voice commands, but not to the extent of the Kinect. The Kinect, as far as a camera-based system, is still superior to the PlayStation 4 camera. But PlayStation 4 camera is a much cheaper alternative if you buy it on a separate basis.
Yeah. So, like, that being said, I think that the Kinect definitely has a lot of opportunities. It works well, but I think it could definitely work a lot better. That there's a lot of room for growth with the Kinect, and I think if if you look at Nintendo, one of the reasons that like the Wii and stuff does as well as it has been doing as well as it has been is because it's something that the other consoles don't have. So I think that if Microsoft really kind of capitalized on that, like, look, we have this feature that nobody else has, let's make the best of this. Let's make people see it and be like, oh, I want that, and this is the only place I can get it, so I'm going to get an Xbox.
Well, fair enough. So to just basically cover what's going on in synopsis, Xbox One has hit one. It's got some issues, got little things they have to work out, but it's definitely looking a lot better, especially after their initial offering to the public and all the problems, all the PR moves that were against the consumer as consumers saw it. There's still a stigma with some general consumers out there that are still probably asking those questions. Can you share games? Is it going to be always online? Things of that nature, which have already been eradicated by Xbox. So I know that there's, even with some individuals, you still have to get over that hump. But I have a feeling already with many, it's in the past, and I see a better future going forward for the Xbox One. It's just a matter of now who is going to get the better exclusive games.
Yeah.
Right now, PlayStation has shown their hand a great deal for 2015, but come E3 and come through the year, we may see a difference, and I'm sure, hopefully, you and I will get the chance to talk about that going forward. But there's also one other entity I want to talk to you about today, and that's another company that's near and dear to your heart. Yes. Nintendo. And the reason why I want to talk about Nintendo is, for a long time, Nick and I have spent years bashing Nintendo. I'm not going to say it any other way than that, because they deserved a lot of bashing with the way that the Wii U was introduced, the software lineup that has been going along with it, and really had not done a good job up until 2014 in promoting that product, and the surviving only off of whatever sales they could get off of the 3DS. That was just not just my opinion, not just Nick's opinion, but it was just an opinion of many as far as it's concerned. Come 2014, they have made a drastic turnaround as far as the perception that many of us in the industry, and also as well many general consumers as well, on the Wii U. And I do want to applaud them for that. I will be the first to tell them great job on doing that, because they've done a much better job this year of promoting their products, especially the Wii U. Starting with Mario Kart 8. Also, we've had the tremendous success of Super Smash Brothers, both on a 3DS and a Wii U format. And let us not forget, already 3 million sold when it comes to the new Pokemon titles that are out there. So I ask you this. Yes, they did just get passed by the Xbox One comparative to the Wii U, but I still didn't see aggressive pricing in a holiday bundle that was really, I got to have it. I didn't see a price change, which I was hoping to see from them. And I didn't see, most importantly, excuse me, I didn't see, most importantly, a Wii U bundle with their most prized product right now, and that's the Wii U bundle with Super Smash Brothers, which I think they should have done. And I think they should have had that ready to go with a GameCube adapter and an amiibo. I understand that they had that as an entity at $99 with the game, but I think they should have all packaged all with one Wii U to make it easier for the consumer to want to buy the product. But that being said, with that slide alone, I still see a much promising future, again, for Nintendo and the Wii U and the 3DS. Still is showing some strong sales this year, with some great price drops and some great price reductions and some great bundles that are being offered by several retailers throughout. So I ask you this, Miss Nintendo fan, as you've called yourself, you a self-admitted fangirl. So your hopes, your thoughts on Nintendo as they stand now, as opposed to what they did last year, and going forward, what do you see from them coming up? Because I know they still have Zelda on the plate coming up.
They do.
From a Wii U standpoint. So that being said, share your thoughts on Nintendo and where they're going from here.
Well, I feel like Super Smash is going to carry them for a while. Like, that game, I've been playing it. I don't know if you want me to talk about it now, or just, I'm almost with my write-up. I wanted to make sure that I really got to play all the parts of it.
You don't have to give a score, just your thoughts on it. Yeah. How great a game it is, because, I'll mention later that we've got some other stuff going on with that. But yeah, go ahead. Just, let us know. Share your thoughts.
Yeah, for me with Smash, like, that's probably one of the biggest things Nintendo has done this year. I mean, compared to everything else, it's the first thing I've been just like really genuinely excited for. It plays really well. I got the Peach and Mario GameCube controllers that came out, so to match my Peach and Mario Wiimotes that I have.
I saw that. I saw that. Very nice indeed.
Yeah, if you want to post that picture on like Facebook page or something, but yeah, I'll take a new one and we'll post it. But yeah, so for me, it's like, oh, I had to buy these other controllers because like I have the Wii U Pro controllers. I have two of them, but like I needed the GameCube controllers to play Super Smash. So it's just like my brain is like, oh, this is justifiable. So I had to spend another, in addition to spending $60 on a game, I had to spend $50 on controllers. And it plays really, really well. If you even remotely like Super Smash Brothers, you're gonna like it. It pretty much takes the last 3 games, and they're like, well, these are all great things. Let's do all of them. So they just like combine everything really well. But yeah, I digress. I'll have a written review and we'll have some other stuff on that too. But so Nintendo in general. I think one of the things that was really interesting to me was the Hyrule Warriors release, which I played extensively. It's phenomenal. I love it. But it's Nintendo kind of stepping out of their comfort zone. It's taking one of their babies, Zelda, and kind of letting somebody else, like, historically, giving Zelda to somebody else has not been advantageous to Nintendo, and we like to pretend that those games didn't actually happen.
That's true. That's true.
So they had to be brave, and they're like, all right, let's try this. And is it who does Dynasty Warriors? Is that, I don't remember the name of that company.
Well, Kemco. I'm not Kemco. Koei. Koei. Let's see. I'll look that up while you're doing that.
So they said, okay, here's our baby. Do something fun with it. So they made Hyrule Warriors, and it's not a Zelda game by any means. It's really fun and really great, but it's not a Zelda game. So if you go into it, you're like, oh, I love Zelda, let's play this. It's like...
It's Koei, Koei, Temco. I just want to get that right.
That company. So, and they did a great job. So, you know, I think it's very impressive that Nintendo, who is somebody who is a company who's not really known for stepping outside their comfort zone, they kind of take what they have and go with it.
And while you're on that, though, I do want to, this was brought up to me while you're talking about that. This is what I was thinking about. Out of their comfort zone, Bayonetta 2, which is an exclusive to the Wii U, which, you know, everybody has been raving about. It's one of the highest rated games this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
definitely outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, definitely outside the comfort zone. But nobody is talking about it. No, there's no ads for it anymore. There's just no buzz around it as far as people buying it, interested or whatnot. There were no sales on it, things of that nature. Nintendo seemed to have just dropped the ball majorly on that game, which has garnered several tens from several publications. Your thoughts on Bayonetta 2? Because I know as a Wii U owner, this is something that you were talking about, is a previously was a dearth of great games that were available on the system.
Yeah, for me, like Bayonetta 2 is another one of those games. It's like I want to play it. I want to get it. It's just like not really high enough priority for me to spend my precious money on yet. So that's going to be a little more time. But I remember when I first heard about Bayonetta being released exclusively to the Wii U, I was just like, wait, what? I think I found out on one of our podcasts. And I was like, really? Like, this is going to be exclusive to the Wii U? And it's weird. Even now, it's been out and it's doing great. And it's just like, really? It's on the Wii U? And I think that was a very bold move by Nintendo, one that is not getting the recognition that I think it should have gotten.
Absolutely, and I know when the sales numbers come out there, like Sunset Overdrive, if you're taking the Sunset Overdrive as a standalone entity, both are going to suffer. I just think from a lack of interest by the general consumer. And it's a shame because both games are really rated highly, especially Bayonetta 2, which will be a game of the year for several publications. I can pretty much tell you already. Whether it's going to be ours, I don't know, because our game of the year's voting is
game of the year already again?
Yes, game of the year.
Every year, I forget that we have to
very
do that.
Soon. So we'll talk about that more up in the coming month in December. So stay tuned for that at yourgamesource.com, GameSource on Facebook, and at GameSource on Twitter. But I don't want to digress too much. I just want to get your final thoughts on where you think Nintendo can go from here now that they've got some momentum going back up the hill as far as it's concerned.
Well, I think are going to need to milk Super Smash Brothers for everything it's worth because it's something that, like, just beat the dead horse. Just keep going. Like, I wonder if they are in the position to do downloadable content with new characters. Do you think that's in their grasp?
Yeah, I believe it is within their grasp to do that. And I also believe that the integration of the amiibos is just starting, and
there's not an amiibo for. I play Zero Suit Samus. There's no amiibo for Zero Suit Samus. So, and I play Zero Suit Samus and Robin, and neither of those have an amiibo.
But Samus has an amiibo.
But it's a different character. But like, you can't use the Samus amiibo on Zero Suit Samus.
Okay, well, fair enough. But if you find a Samus amiibo that has 2 arm cannons, that was a manufacturing defect, and that could be money on eBay. Just to let you know.
I will keep that in mind.
That was reported this week. We actually posted that on our Facebook site. So your hopes for them going forward are strong still?
They are. I think if they continue to be bold and step outside their comfort zone, I think it's going to be really beneficial to them. Because I think they've kind of been kind of hiding back when it's like, okay, this is what we do, let's keep doing it. And that was actually when we had the conversation of what my advice to them would be, is, they have all these great products, just keep doing what you're doing. But now that I've seen them do something different and really change it up, I think it's going to be really fortuitous for them.
I agree with you. I think, but outside of Zelda, their future is not as clear-cut in stone as possibly the Xbox One is, or the PlayStation 4 is. But I think they are a definite wild card, and they hold a much stronger chance than this time last year. Because this time last year,
absolutely.
This time last year, they were perceived, and I'm not gonna mince words. They were perceived as, and we were treated like a butt of a joke. Yeah. They had no direction. They had games that we did not know if they were going to come out or when they were going to come out, and they just seemingly just had no way of informing consumers about how good their products really were, and they were losing money hand over fist, and it just really was just not looking good for Nintendo as a company. I still argue that they should be able to dominate the mobile market if they choose to, and should still seek out that option for all their older library, but their stubbornness and refusal to do so.
Yeah, for me, I own so many of those games. Like, firstly, I own most of the original games, and then I bought them all again on the Virtual Console. And so on my 3DS, I have a ton of games that are really old. But it's like, if they've released on mobile, I'd buy them all again.
And they have that. They have something that Microsoft and even Sony does not have, and that's those older classic games that they could introduce to a iOS or Android market that would make them just seriously a continuous amount of cash going forward for many, 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 many years to come, that they just do not want to. They think of it as sacrilege at Nintendo to do such a thing, instead of, like you said, being bold and looking forward. So there's still some areas of improvement, but overall, things are looking much better for Nintendo. I do want to give them credit for riding the ship at least in a good direction. The new Nintendo 3DS that's coming out next year has garnered in North America some advanced word.
Do we have a release date yet?
I can look that up. I'm not sure yet, but I know it is going to be sometime early next year. Let's see.
Because there was this exclusive 3DS XL, and it looks like an NES, and it's so cool, and I want to get it. But it's like, I don't know when the new one is coming out, and I would just get the new one.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that there's, with the little nub and all the some of the additions that's going to be made, it is really looking good, but I don't see any listing as of yet.
Yeah, I've been looking, nothing's been released yet. You are muted, my friend.
Let's see.
Oh, because it automatically mutes when you type.
Oh, fair enough. Just seeing that about that is concerned. A little bit of a goof up there. Yeah, I was looking up. But yeah, it's still, don't have a definite early date yet. But since it's out in Japan already,
Yeah.
it's going to come here fairly soon. So I'd say the first quarter of next year, look for it. I know the next, Xenoblade Chronicles, when that comes out, that is exclusive to that unit. Not even, I believe the old 3DS will be able to play it. So they're going to make some exclusive content for us. So that's something to look forward to. I just, like I said, I see a better future for Nintendo. Is it going to be something that's going to delve beyond Zelda? We'll have to wait and see. If Zelda gets a major delay, though, that could be an issue.
Absolutely.
Because they don't, as of this point, have really anything concrete and consumer worthy to fall back on that would garner a lot of interest to a mass market audience. So that is of great concern to me on that end. But I know Nintendo may show some more things and have probably some more things coming up their sleeve. I know the Firefox game has been talked. The Star Fox game, excuse me.
The Firefox game.
Star Fox game has been talked about. Firefox. Sorry, Star Fox. That game has been talked about at endless nauseum during our E3 coverage as something we were looking forward to, because I know that's in a beyond alpha stage. It's been shown privately at a couple trade shows and whatnot, so that's something to look forward to. But like I said, if Zelda gets delayed, that could be some problems. But right now, things are looking good for Nintendo, and more good things, hopefully, for them are in store. Last, wanted to talk about what you're playing.
That list.
So I know you mentioned it briefly over the course of the past, bit here, but I want to talk about what you're playing, Sam, and what people will have to look forward to you reporting on in good measure.
Well, firstly, I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and the reason that review has not surfaced yet is because that game is huge, and I have been trying to coordinate a time with Corey to play the multiplayer, and I don't want to do the review without the multiplayer part. But it's a big game. What I think it does very well to almost trick you a little bit is the first area there's this kind of starter area, and then there's like you kind of get like what the plot's gonna be, and then you go to this big map, and it's just this massive map with quests everywhere, and you have to run around, and it's really big, and then you kind of go to a smaller area, and then another smaller area, and okay, so this game is very different than previous Dragon Age games. I still like the combat. It's more reminiscent of 1, where you can kind of plan things more, and there's a little more customization, but it's very different. It almost seems like it's trying to. What are you shaking your head for? You're muted.
Yeah, it's just sorry, I guess young lady right here, just she's like, I want the mobile. Why? To play games. There you go. They start young.
So you're shaking your head at her, not me.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, I thought you were trying to tell me, like, no, the combat's not different. It's like, have you played it? It's different.
I've actually seen about, I've actually sat down and taken some notes and seen about 4 or 5 hours of the actual combat. I did think that it does have some spike in difficulty levels, especially when you're going against some dragons. I noticed that even experienced players were having a hard time progressing through that, which is great for a challenge and whatnot, but the 10th time, 11th time you're actually still trying to kill the dragon, it gets a little nauseating, if for lack of a better term.
And then so there's combat. I still really like it. Like a lot of the things are, it's different, but I still really like it. I'm still trying to figure out how I don't know if I have all the party members yet, because one of the things that I did with Dragon Age is I tried not to look at anything ahead of time. I did that with like Mass Effect also. I didn't want to see anything before I played it. So normally the system for Dragon Age has been you have like 6 party members, 2 of each class, and a gender of each class. So you have a male and female rogue, a male and female warrior, and a male and female mage. That's how it's been. So I had that, and I was like, cool. But then I got another warrior, and I think I'm about to get another mage. It's just like, oh, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. And then there's like 3 characters that are kind of party members, but not party members. And I just haven't really been blown away by any of the characters yet. The person, like, I really like Varric, because he was Dragon Age 2. As far as, like, new characters go, I really like Vivienne, but, like, a lot of the characters haven't been, like, I really like the characters of Dragon Age 2. I think those are all really great, well-developed characters. But the customization, a lot of people were complaining about the customization in 2, how you couldn't really do as much, like, with your other characters and everything like that. They brought all that back. I think a lot of the changes they made from 2 to 3 were complaints people had from 1 to 2. And I think that is always just kind of admirable in a developer when it's like, oh, hey, this is what people didn't like when we changed it, let's change it back. So, I really like it. It's the only thing I'm having a problem with is a lot of the little quests you get are just kind of fetch quests. And it's like the quest boils down to, hey, run from here to here and kill some of these things. And I feel like I'm just kind of grinding a lot. And it's very slow. I think it's a lot slower than the previous games, which isn't always bad. I'm not saying the slow is bad, but
well, that's a major trope of a lot of RPGs is fetch quests, quests that are just really uninteresting. But the player feels like they have to go through it in order, like you said, to grind, to necessitate going forward with whatever story progression or level progression.
You need, how it works is it's very similar actually to Mass Effect 3, where the conflict is on a very large scale, and instead of recruiting individual allies, what would you do? But you need to get armies, and you need to get groups. And so the theme of the game is like you are obtaining influence and power. So pretty much every time you complete a quest, you get a power point. And once you have accumulated enough of these points, you can go to different places. Like right now, it's like, oh, these mages aren't going to want to talk to me because I'm not a big deal. But if I do some more quests, I have been gaining influence, and now they want to talk to me. So it's an interesting system, but I think they're trying to hide the grinding, but the grinding is very much there. But you get a horse. I have a horse. I can ride that horse. I don't know how many places. It doesn't let me do it inside, but I got a horse. And I keep trying to name him, but no name sounds cool enough. I think I want to name him Octavian, because he's just going to conquer with me. He's just going to hang out. So, you get a horse. 10 out of 10.
And there you go.
Review, you get a horse.
That's going to be a box quote
for
upcoming editions.
You get a horse, Sam Faramba Game Source.
There you go. Fair enough. And you've also been playing extensively Smash Brothers Wii U. So you tell me about that.
Smash. I'm playing Smash and Pokemons as well. I talked a little bit about Smash before. It's got something for everybody. Ton of characters. At first, all the characters are really overwhelming, because there's a lot of characters. But and then you many more to unlock. But it's just fun. I've been playing it. I haven't done any online yet because I haven't really needed to. The most fun for me is I have me and my 2 friends, and we have been playing the 8-person mode. So it's the 3 of us versus 5. We're on a team, and then the other 5 are on the team. And that's really fun. Like, some of the maps, it gets really cluttered and crazy, and then if you go to a bigger map, it's still, like, really crazy.
Is there any slowdown in frame rate?
I'm gonna say yes, but nothing. Like, we were just playing locally, so it wasn't too strenuous on the console, but there were definitely a few moments of slowdown, but I don't think it was ever like to me there's a difference between slowdown and just lag. and I think lag is, I'm defining my own term here. Lag is when it starts impairing your ability to play. But slowdown is just like, you just kind of have to like take a second and be like, okay, what's happening? So I've never experienced any lag, nothing that made it unable to play. But definitely a little bit of slowdown.
Well, fair enough, but I sure as a lot of readers out there are, eagerly anticipating your thoughts on it, especially coming into the Game of the Year season coming up. Still got a couple more releases coming out. Captain Toad's for the Wii U, and then also as well The Crew coming to Xbox One and PS4. And we want to give time to those games to see if they'll stand up to they'll cut the mustard, and they'll stand up to the rest of other games that we think of so fondly. But we'll, in the month of December, be producing our list of games, and hopefully getting some good feedback on from not only our staff, but also the people out there, which you can hopefully will get a chance to sound off on your thoughts on which game should be Game of the Year for GameSource for the year 2014, and we'll be giving you that information in the coming weeks here in December coming up. So, any last thoughts, final thoughts on what you're looking forward?
Pokemon, awesome. It's a game that was already released, obviously, but it's fun. It's cool. Ruby and Sapphire is a great series. I think Ruby and Sapphire is the last great one. Like Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y was awesome. X and Y was great. But I think Ruby and Sapphire was the last good game for a little while. So I'm really enjoying that. Also, I just want to pitch this. It came out. This game came out like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. I don't know. But Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Last year.
It is on. It is a downloadable game. I don't think there's a disc for it. It only takes a couple hours to beat. But the premise of it is you are controlling two brothers. Roll credits. And you have two joysticks, and each joystick controls one of the brothers. And you use the two joysticks and the two triggers. And there's one set for one brother, one set for the other. So it takes a massive amount of coordination because you have to play both of them at once. And I had started playing it when the game came out, and I was like, I am not coordinated enough to do this. This is not fun. I keep dying. Like, this is dumb. But I recently picked it back up, and I wanted my boyfriend to play it because like he's really coordinated, and I thought he would really like it. So we beat it like in 2 days, and you can probably one sitting is too much, and 3 sittings is too spaced out. Planets you could play 2 sittings, but like the first half is just like la 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 la, and the second half gets really dark really fast, and we did not anticipate it at all. But it is just a gorgeous game, visually stunning. The gameplay is just so unique. The way you have to play the game. The story, there's no dialogue. It is this fake. They sound like Sims. It's a fake language. So there's no actual dialogue, but you are getting a story, and there's so much emotion throughout this whole game that it makes you feel. And you are just going through this world, and it just like it only has like 6 or 7 chapters, but like you experience this. It's very linear. It's get point A to point B. Like there's a set path. So there's no wandering, there's no exploring. But the way the game is designed, you are experiencing this whole world, and it is massive, and it is amazing, and the end is fantastic. So go play it. It's like $15. It's amazing. I had to pitch it.
And hopefully you'll be able to put that to thoughts to pen and paper.
Yes, I will once I put thoughts to games that just came out, because I still need to do that.
Fair enough. And people will be able to look for that in the In Case You Missed It section when it comes out, so we look forward to that as well. So once again, much appreciated to you, Sam.
Happy to be here.
For being on the podcast. 7th Valkyrie right there for you. Also is for me, Gerald, better known as Yes Elvis Lives. I definitely want to thank everyone for watching both today's podcast and previous podcasts. If you get a chance, not only our YouTube page has our last few podcasts, but yourgamesource.com, our entire podcast archive of over 110 GameSource podcasts, almost 100 plus ones, Maybe more King and Valkyries because you've done a few
Yeah,
already
Josh
there.
and I, it has been awful. It's like, hey, can you? Because like I work 8 to 5, but he normally works in the evenings because he works for Apple, and his schedule is always different. So it's like, oh, you want to record this day? Oh, I have to work. Oh, you want to record this day? Oh, I have a thing. So that's just been a nightmare. We've been like every week we text it like, can we do it this week? And we try.
Well, I look forward to that when because your King and Valkyrie podcasts do garner a lot of interest from people out there. Hopefully, also more of CNC, their podcast. Hopefully, once their break from their endeavors in the retail industry subside. And but most importantly, we just want to thank everyone out there for watching, for listening, and for being a part of this podcast, and for all the tremendous amount of interest that our site has garnered over the past 3 months. We've hit record highs in September and October, and November looks really strong as well. In case you're watching this, our Black Friday page still has some offers as far as that are still valid out there, and we'll probably post some Cyber Monday deals going forward during the weekend, so look forward to that. Like I said, our Game of the Year coming up in December. That will be
I have to like what I did last year for Game of the Year is I just like did a GameFly membership for a month and just tried to get everything in.
Well, we'll definitely start the process a little earlier for you on that, and also for everyone out there to get their thoughts as well, because we definitely want to hear your feedback. Because here at GameSource, our Game of the Year voting is not only based off of what our staff dictates, but it's also based off of what you, the viewer, and what you, the listener out there, would like to share as well. If you do so, which you can easily do, send us a message, GameSource on Facebook, info@yourgamesource.com if you want to email, or just tweet us. Send us a tweet, at GameSource. So once again, for me, yes, Elvis lives.
And me, 7th Valkyrie.
It's been a pleasure. It's GameSource Podcast number 111, the Black Friday Aftermath. Hoping everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Do you love games, breathe games, and bleed games? Then this is the crew for you. If you are interested in editorial, podcasting, live events, and exclusive content, make sure to hit us up at info@yourgamesource.com and become part of a team that is dedicated to delivering all the greatest and latest in gaming news and content, all here at yourgamesource.com.